spring training is underway, and it's about time that we did an MLB quiz anyway. So today's video will be all about MLB teams, and I have my trusty, I think this is a different one than what I've used on the channel before, and just in my ears it sounds like maybe it doesn't make as good a sound as the other one that I've used, but let me know. I just pulled this one out today because it's my favorite glove. Believe it or not, it's the one that I played Little League with. I mean, I still have a small hand today, but it still fits me today. And then I have some signatures on the thumb, of which you would not recognize any of them. But anyway, if this is your first time watching one of my sporty ASMR quizzes, here's how it works. I'll give you 3 hints, 3 clues about an MLB team. And if you guess correctly on the first hint, you get 3 points. If you guess correctly on the second hint, you get 2 points. And if you guess correctly on the third hint, you get 1 point. There will also be a bonus question for every team that is in this quiz, and they're worth 1 point each. So there should be a total of 40 points up for grabs in today's video. I know I miscounted last time, but it should actually be 40 this time. It was bound to happen. I kept saying I'd get it wrong. It just happened sooner than I would have hoped. And finally, because of the format of this quiz, I think, let's say 25 is a really good score to aim for today. Also, guys, last piece of housekeeping, we're trying to hit 25,000 subscribers this year. So if you enjoy sports and ASMR, specifically soft-spoken rambles, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. It means a lot to me to see this community growing, and I'd love to have you be part of it. But now, let's get into it. You'll see it sounds maybe more complicated than it is, and we always start nice and easy. So here's question number 1. For 3 points, this team was the first to use batting helmets. For 2 points, this team was named after the Brooklyn pedestrians who avoided electric streetcars in the city. And for 1 point, for the 2024 season, this team signed Shohei Ohtani with the largest ever contract in professional sports history. The answer is, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now for a bonus point. This is worth 1 point. The first televised Major League Baseball games were a doubleheader between the Cincinnati Reds and the Brooklyn Dodgers. Which year did this air? And I'll give you the point if you're plus or minus 5 years. The answer is 1939. So if you answered between 1934 and 1944, you get a bonus point. So you see, it's pretty straightforward. Let's keep going with the next question. So for 3 points, this team had the most ever losses, or I should say has the most ever losses by a single team in all of professional sports. I'm so sorry to do you dirty, like if you're a fan of this team. I just think it's a fun piece of trivia. For 2 points, this team put an end to the curse of Billy Penn when they won the World Series. I'll say in the aughts. And I like the story of this curse. I think I might do a video just rambling about it and about more sports curses. I think they're fun to think about. And for 1 point, this is the oldest continuous same name, same city franchise in all of American professional sports. The key here is continuous, same name, same city. The answer is the Philadelphia Phillies. Now for a fun fact, my little league team was the Phillies. So that's just a piece of me lore for you right there for a bonus point. And to sort of ask for forgiveness for my previous comment about the most ever losses, I want you to tell me how many regular season games the Phillies have won in their history. So this is as of the end of the 2023 season, and I'll allow, let's say, plus or minus 500 points, because that gives you like a 1,000 point spread to play with. So how many wins regular season do they have in their history at the end of the 2023 season? Do you have an answer? The correct answer is 10,112 wins. So if you guessed between 9,612 and 10,612, you get the bonus point. Next question. For 3 points. This was the last MLB team to advance past the first round of the playoffs, meaning of the 30 teams, the other 29 had gotten past the first round of playoffs at least once in their history before this team did. For 2 points. This franchise was established in 1961 as the Washington Senators. And for 1 point, this team is the reigning World Series champion. The answer, of course, is the Texas Rangers. Now for a bonus point, in which year did the Rangers win their first American League pennant? No grace on this one. You have to have the exact year. And the answer is 2010. Next question. You know I always have to slip in a clue for my movie buffs out there. So for 3 points, Ferris Bueller went to this team's ballpark on his day off. For 2 points, this team is known as the North Siders, which is a reference to the location of their ballpark in contrast to another team in the same city. And for 1 point, the NFL's Bears got their name after this baseball team. The answer is the Chicago Cubs. For a bonus point, the franchise was previously called the Chicago Orphans and the Chicago Colts. But what was the franchise first known as? The answer is the Chicago White Stockings. So you can see why they changed their name, considering their neighbors. Next question for 3 points. This team was first established as the Highlanders. For 2 points. This team was the first to permanently adopt player numbers and the first team to retire a number. And for 1 point, this team has won by far the most World Series. I don't think I need to give you too much time to think about it now. The answer is the New York Yankees. For a bonus point. So I mentioned retired numbers in the second hint, and actually numbers 1 through 10 for the Yankees are retired, along with many others, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 digit number to be retired by the Yankees. So you basically got 1 out of 9 odds. What was the last single digit number to be retired by the Yankees? The answer is 2 for Derek Jeter. Next question. For 3 points. This team has had 10 official recorded captains in their history. The first and the last, or at least the most recent, were both named Jack. For 2 points. This team has won more games in franchise history than any other sports team in the Big Four. So kind of the reverse Phillies. They've won more games in franchise history than any other team in the Big Four. And for 1 point, this team moved out of New York and to the West Coast the same year as the Dodgers. The answer is the San Francisco Giants. For a bonus point, what year did the Dodgers and the Giants move to California? The answer is 1958. I will also accept 1957 since that was their last year in New York. Next question. For 3 points. This is the only American League team to be under corporate ownership. For 2 points. After winning back-to-back World Series, this team failed to qualify for the playoffs for 21 consecutive seasons. So they won back-to-back World Series and then did not qualify for the playoffs for the next 21 years. And for 1 point, due to pandemic restrictions, this team played home games in Florida and New York State in 2021. The answer is the Toronto Blue Jays. For a bonus point, the Blue Jays are the second MLB franchise to be based outside of the United States and currently the only team based outside of the US. And that's after the first Canadian franchise became the Washington Nationals in 2005. So what I want you to tell me is which team was that? What was the first team outside of the United States that eventually became the Washington Nationals? The answer would only be one. The Montreal Expos. Next question for 3 points. This franchise originated as the Pilots. The team was originally called the Pilots. For 2 points. This team is the only franchise to play in 4 different divisions since divisional play began in Major League Baseball in 1969. This team played in 4 different divisions. And for 1 point, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a minority owner of this team. The answer is the Milwaukee Brewers. For a bonus point, how many National League pennants do the Brewers have? The answer is 0. That was actually sort of a trick question, I'm sorry. They have 1 American League pennant from 1982, and then they moved to the National League in 1998. Next question. There are two questions left for 3 points. Time to focus up. This team hosted the World Series at Fenway Park in 1914. It's a 3-pointer question. It can't be that obvious. For 2 points. Their AAA affiliate is the Gwinnett Stripers. And for 1 point, this franchise is the only Major League Baseball franchise to have won the World Series in 3 different home cities. The answer is the Atlanta Braves. Now for a bonus point, I mentioned the Braves played in Boston, and they now of course play in Atlanta, but which city was their home in the 50s and early 60s? Right, so they won the World Series in 3 different home cities. We know about Atlanta. We know about Boston. Which city belongs in the middle between those 2? The answer is Milwaukee. Milwaukee. And now the final question for 3 points. The second most expensive sports card ever sold at auction features a player from this team. So we all know the Mickey Mantle card is the most expensive, but the second most features a player from this team. For 2 points. This team lost in the first modern World Series. 1 point, the team mascot is a parrot. I don't know if you can hear the crows right now, but it's very fitting. The team mascot is a parrot. The answer is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, for a bonus point, and this is the very last point of the quiz, so we have to make it a little tough. Here's the question. Who is the shortstop featured on the baseball card that I mentioned in the 3-point hint? The card that sold for $6.6 million in 2021. Which player is on that card? The answer is the Flying Dutchman, Honus Wagner. I think he's gone by Hans Wagner as well. I'll accept any form of Wagner that you can give me. And with that, this MLB teams quiz is all wrapped up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what score you got, and I'll see you in the next video.